how I changed my mind. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask for volunteers, but of course, if no one volunteers, I'm just going to pick you. So I suggest you volunteer. But yesterday was super packed, energy. We did stuff. We were running around the room. And I think one of the things that really struck me was when we did the commons exercise in the afternoon. How many of you did the commons exercise in the afternoon? Yeah. I know there was more than one person. So clearly, I'm going to ask again. How many people did the commons exercises yesterday afternoon? Better. And the exercise was where we asked a bunch of questions in the room, and then it was about government, and there were three controversial questions, and then people had to kind of see which side of the spectrum they were in. Interestingly, just in that one, we saw people changing their minds. So this one is about how I changed my mind. And sorry, I feel like I'm shouting at myself. Okay. And how I changed my mind. So right now, I would really like for us to pick at least 2 or 3 kind of people and just share with us something that you changed your mind on. So maybe there was a conception, a myth, or an idea, or something that you had. And as the day progressed, you kind of went, or actually, no, I don't agree, or yes, I agree, or I changed my mind in some way. So who would like to share their reflections with me before I start picking on people? Yay, great. Please come. You can come and sit on the...
I have a microphone here as well.
Okay, fine. You can introduce... Okay, you can introduce yourself.
I can come there if you really want me to.
Do you want...
Okay.
Okay. Great, you can have a seat. Okay, second, who am I going to pick next? Volunteer, I will pick you. Excellent. You can come and sit on the table. See, yesterday I forgot to do this, so that's why I'm making it up. I forgot to call people on the table, so. And now third, can we have a female, please? I will pick on you. Thank you. Excellent. You all have mics. So if you could, yeah, you have a mic. Absolutely. So if you could just start by introducing yourself and then what it is that you kind of changed.
Yeah, hi. My name is Jonah Specker. I'm with the FAO Forestry Department, working in what's called the Forest Monitoring and Data Platform, and we are developing digital public infrastructure solutions. So yesterday I heard something where immediately I thought like, okay, this is maybe a little bit crazy. That was the idea pitched by Jeremiah Letting here, that farmers should universally get access to mobile data. And to have internet sort of at all times. Now, we know there's a lot of problems with connectivity in certain areas, but when connectivity is there's still the issue that mobile data costs money. First of all, I thought like, how would you even do that? But then yesterday, while browsing through my Safaricom, which I just have since 2 days, I saw that there are bundles where you have like 1 gigabyte, for example, and then unlimited WhatsApp on top of that. And so if that is possible, if Safaricom is able to do this like unlimited WhatsApp, for example, why not maybe have a public-private partnership with Safaricom, Airtel, whoever is out there, that you have full mobile access, mobile data unlimited, that just apply to this particular application. If there was an application that helps with like weather conditions, pesticide warnings, pest warnings, pesticide recommendations and all these kind of things, it's easily thinkable. If they can do it with WhatsApp within Safaricom mobile data, they could also do it with something else. And that's something that's really worth thinking about.
I think that's a really great point, because you're right. It's not just about access, right? It's affordability. If I have to choose between, a meal and data and downloading something, I mean, it's a no-brainer. No, well done. You triggered a good thought process. Excellent. You can start by introducing yourself. And
yes, good morning. My name is Raymond Cutter. I work for the Produce Monitoring Board, which is the regulator for all the commodities in Sierra Leone. And so before yesterday, I thought that Sierra Leone will never be able to play catch up in the area of DPI and AI, but I got a lot of comfort when I heard the presentation from, I think his name is Yves or something, when he said that You know, we always worry about the fancy and sexier parts of AI and DPI, but we forget that the building blocks are really like simple things like farmer registry, land zoning, soil mapping kind of data, national data registries for farmer information, like how many farms, cocoa farms are there, how many coffee farms are there, how many farmers are in the cashew sector. So these are very critical data that are simple, but really can catalyze a country's DPI and AI. So that gave me a lot of comfort. And I thought we were really, really out of the space, but I think Sierra Leone has success stories around this as we are doing national soil mapping and trying to put ecologies in data so we'll know what the potential is for certain geographical locations. So I was very encouraged by that. I think two things really struck me. I like the debate where I was very, to be honest, I was very purist about the fact that, you know, the EU, put your money where your mouth is around EUDR, but the debate kind of like took me to the middle. I think the middle point is the better place to be. Because yes, I do know that countries like Sierra Leone are struggling to actually meet compliance requirements by 31st. And I'm going to say that at the highest political levels in Sierra Leone, you will be surprised at what the feeling about EUDR is. On the one hand, you have this will, but on the other hand, you have the feeling that, well, it's conflicting priorities. We have Feed Sierra Leone. The president has an initiative. I want to feed my country, make it self-sufficient by 2028. And then there is this coming, you know, about land deforestation, you know, deforestation, etc. And, you know, I was like, so what are we saying? Are we saying we just are not going to care? Or, but yesterday gave me some tools with which I can be able to navigate the conversation better, to say that compliance with EUDR is not like astronomical stuff, but it's like doing, say for instance, better simple things like we already have old farms that could be sanitized during prunings and stuff, rather than continually going and relocating to new. So there are a lot of simple things that could be done. And there's always this thing that the EU has this caveat. No, we are not talking about the producers. We're talking about the exporters. But you cannot say it's mutually exclusive, because smallholder farmers and co-ops are actually also bearing some of the brunt. And yesterday helped me to better crystallize all of these intricacies and nuances.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I think real depth, and it's so good to see actual change happening. And sometimes I think that's exactly what you need, these activities where you're so convinced about something and then actually it helps you. And thank you for sharing, because it's not hard to admit. It's quite hard to admit that actually I thought a certain way and now I've changed my mind. So that's really great. And the point you made earlier, it keeps going back to this, right? We all think about AI and DPI and they sound like these really cool, fun, techie things. But actually, the most important is, as you said, the boring bits, right? The data. Because if you put garbage in, garbage out. And actually, with data, we can all do it. And and like you said, the farmer registries, the soil registries, etc. So yeah, really, really exciting and a really positive outcome. Over to you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Suzanne Jahir. I lead innovation at Hello Tractor. So I think what has been most interesting for me has been, I'm asking better questions, to be honest. I like really, I thought the unconference bit was, you know, more like a mindset, and I wondered how practical that would be. But I'm really appreciating that because, and Raymond, you said also something that was on my mind on that conversation. But I remember when I think it was Jerome who said stuff about DPI, which is access, accountability, and agency. I remember asking myself, but how do we get access to data? Yesterday, it was Minnie who was giving a presentation and said how they're not relying on the data on the browser because of all the hallucinations, and how they have curated a data set that will inform the AI model. And in my mind, I was like, okay, so you have access to data that is making you do some magic somewhere, but where is that data? Who owns it? How do we get access to that? And then even on the questions we were discussing on the government versus startups, and it was pretty heated, by the way, super fun, but it made me ask myself questions about agency. When we talk about startup leadership versus the autonomy of government, like for me, it's giving me better questions to ask, and that's definitely framing the kind of solutions. I'm starting to think differently about how we can design for rural communities. And then there was also one other interesting thing about there was a group conversation that we had on the session about risks and stuff, and someone spoke about citizen science and how you give the rural communities, those people that are needed the most, to be the ones that design for the solution. And I was like, how are we getting our farmer voices? So I have been asking so many questions. Oh my goodness, I cannot keep track, and I'm liking it. And I think we will have a really good framing and design of the solutions after this conference.
Amazing. This is super exciting. So really, really positive, and I agree. And I think questions are the best, right? Like, this is the thing. We always think that we have the answers, but asking the right questions is key. And in fact, as we bring this to AI, right, the biggest skill in AI now is prompting. If you don't ask the right questions, you're not going to get the right information. So really, really excited that this has happened. And yeah, I'm with you. I think this next part is actually going to be even more exciting, because yesterday we set the context, we talked about the challenges, we tried to understand the challenges, and today we're going to be doing a lot more solutioning. So thank you, everyone, and we can sort of move on to the next part. The fun thing about unconferences, nobody gets to sit and talk for long. You have to keep moving. I think I'm keeping time well. So if there's anybody else who wants to reflect or comment, this is your chance before I move to the next session. Thoughts, comments? Okay, great.
Yeah, one thing I don't know, it's sort of a reflection. When you think of DPI right now, I think people imagine as like something very alien, when it's not. In reality, think of some sort of an e-extension system, perhaps that a Calro has, right? Right now, it's a full stack solution. It has the farmer registry, it has the logic for generating the advisory, then it has the integration with the the gateway to disseminate the advisory. The first step in DPI is all about unbundling. How do I unbundle perhaps the farmer registry and open it up for others to use it, right? So DPI is not really a technology. It's just a paradigm shift in the way you design, and you sort of decouple your system into those foundational building blocks, and then adding a layer of APIs around them.
No, I love it. And I think exactly it, unbundling, right? We're so used to in agri thinking about bundling. How do we get the right bundle to the farmer, right? Insurance, finance, credit. But for the tech stack, I think unbundling so that we can use it, that's a really, really good point.